All of you online, am I audible to everybody? Yes, good afternoon. Okay, hello all of you. Okay, Charu, Gauri, Chanchal, Mukul, Vishal, Hussain, Shashank, Vishal Panchal, Chandan Patel, Shashi. Okay, all of you. Good afternoon, good evening, whatever suits you. 4 p.m. I'm good, Abhinav. Okay, Mamta, I'm fine. You tell me. So I think some of you have joined me from the previous batches. A couple of you even from last year's. Hello Shivam, Shashi. Yes, Mehak. Okay, I was told that we had an earthquake in the. Okay, so when big things happen, there is an earthquake. Okay, when important things happen. Okay. Acha, theek hai. Okay, fine. So let's get started now. अवनीश, ये कैसे हटाओगे बताओ? हाँ, उसको बताओ कि okay, all of you, we'll do that. Yes, Rahul. Thank you. Okay, Dheeraj. Okay, Abhishek. See, in the mains paper, if you have got 7 entries, that's good enough. Hello, Manas, Abhishek, Afridi, hi. So, ठीक है, अब एक आध mistake हुआ तो don't think about it too much. Yes, Aman, we'll do that. Okay, let's get started now, all of you. So 2-3 things, let me quickly confirm first. Okay. Number one, the enrichment sessions are going to be very intense. When I say intense, I mean lot of new concepts honge, okay, along with answer writing and lot of memorization to do. Okay, so some of you are struggling with memorizations of synopsis. That work is assumed to have been done. Okay, if you have not done that, you must do something to finish, and that's the backlog thing. Okay, so accept this first, that it will be intense. That's one. Number two, don't depend on the class for content. वो तो हम देंगे आपको. What's more important is your engagement and your involvement to learn answer writing. See, what happens in most cases is you are used to listening to class and making notes. Most of us are not willing to write answers and practice answer writing. Unfortunately, that is the most important first step. And answer writing nahi karne ka na 2-3 reason hota hai. One is you have not done the previous content completely. The second reason is you have a lot of fear what if I write wrong? And third is time issues. You are juggling with too many things. Okay. यही 3 reason है why people run away from answer writing. My retort to this is, these classes is an excuse to finish off whatever you have not been doing till now. It's like, sir, I have not revised. How do I write answers? My answer is, start writing answers. Aapka revision साथ-साथ chalega. Okay, that's one. Second is, sir, I'm scared to make mistakes. Nobody who has learned anything starts with not making any mistakes. ऐसा होता नहीं है. Anybody who has learned anything, का beginning होता है, you will make mistakes. Okay, you will have issues. Online, am I audible? Rahul Soni says he can't hear me. For others, is it audible? Nikhil, Abhishek, Deepak, Manas, okay, you're audible there. Can others also confirm? Streaming fine? I think one of you said it's blurred also. Okay, it's fine for most of you. Rahul, it could be your local problem, I think. So just log out. He can't even hear me, so what do I do? Okay. Audible? Okay, okay. You all write audible, so Rahul can see that I am audible. Okay. So then he knows it's a... Okay. Can somebody write a message? Rahul, please log out and log back in. Okay. No, there's a different screen there. I'll change it. Okay. Rahul, please log out and log back in. There's a bit of lag. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Ajay. Thank you so much. Aman, that's okay. Just 1 or 2 message. Otherwise, Rahul is confused. Ki enrichment course hai ya Rahul course hai? Okay, so you're preparing geography self. Should I join? Yes, Nikhil, absolutely. If you're confident about a preparation or even otherwise, okay, this is the next step you must take. Okay, fine. Rahul, okay, it's fine now. Take it. Thank you. Let me again rephrase what I'm saying. So you are getting into another type of a mindset. You will not make the excuse of, I have not finished revision, so I can't write answers. No, then I'll say, let the classes be a way of revising everything. Second, you will make mistakes. You will write wrong. You will write wrong examples. But aap fir bhi karoge practice. And the best way of practice is, you first memorize a range of answers we give you. Okay, that's how we will move. So some of you, as a part of foundation classes, have got answers from us. Okay, and those were only the beginning answers. Now we'll give you a more range of answers. So your work is, zyada left-right sochna nahi hai. Okay, take the answers and start mugging up. And I've seen students who start resisting. Sir, yaad nahi ho raha hai. See, what happens is, memorization is something like your muscle memory thing. That's a part of your faculty of learning, which for most of us has not been practiced enough. So what happens is, your brain doesn't fire up. You memorize, and it will be a difficult task for the first 10, 15, 20 answers. Okay, but try karte raho. Read once, close, recall, read again, close and recall. It's like you're preparing a speech. Okay, one answer sometimes can take you 4 or 5 hours, sometimes 1 day also. Koi baat nahi, aap karte raho usko. Once you have done that for 15, 20 answers, trust me, you will start memorizing with more ease, because your mind starts getting activated. Most of us don't realize it, that these kind of things require time. These kind of things requires practice. Ek mindset bhi chahiye. So you will not give an excuse, sir, yaad nahi ho raha hai, and no excuse in terms of, sir, I can make a mistake, and no excuse in terms of, I have not revised. So each of your units, on average, I'm giving you 1, 2 or 3 days. Like say climatology. Aaj ka din hai, कल का दिन है and day after. So this कुल मिलाकर you have approximately 6, 7, 8 hours. 6, 7, 8 hours में to finish off one unit is very much possible. Okay, so in climatology, you don't need to by heart the layers of atmosphere. You don't need to by heart, okay, where we have high pressure and low pressure. You know trade winds, host latitudes, ITCs, that पता है आपको, right? You know Mediterranean climate. What you're forgetting is maybe, sir, I've forgotten the values of Köppen's classification boundaries. Sir, I've forgotten, okay, what are the conditions for air mass formation. Sir, I've forgotten, okay, I know subtropical jet stream, I know polar jet stream, I can't recall maybe Somali jet stream. So अगर आप notes देखोगे ना, what you would have forgotten perhaps is 15, 20, 30% of your content. And if I teach climatology, approximately it takes me around 20 odd sessions. 20 sessions into 2.5 hours. That is dictation also to all of you. तो मैंने आपको पढ़ाया है climatology for approximately around 40 hours. 40 hours में notes के साथ में. So 40 hours का, I'm saying 20% काम डालना है revise. How much is that? So if you see, you actually need 6, 7 hours to revise. I'm giving you hardcore numerical analysis to all of you. Okay. When you knew nothing, you started blank, you wrote notes, you had your doubts. Okay. You were struggling, going to class, coming back to class. वो सब मिलाकर, I took 40 on a higher side. I took 50 hours to teach climatology. 50 hours ka, I'm saying, give 1/3 time. 1/3 time is approximately about 12 hours. 12 hours, okay, in 3 or 4 days is on the higher side. आपको notes लिखना भी नहीं है. So entire climatology can be finished in 6, 7 hours. So revise that. If you come without revision, you can't apply. Okay, so 2 things I have told you. One is, आप revise नहीं कर पाए, कोई बात नहीं, अब कर लो आप. Okay, finish revision. Second thing I said, I'll give you a range of questions to all of you. A range of questions where you will start practicing how to remember the answers. Remembering will take some energy. Don't get frustrated there. What you also have to start learning is, now that you have all the facts with you and concepts with you, applied questions is what you will struggle with. Applied questions that needs lot of, okay, current affairs. ये अभी तक नहीं हटा है. Okay, इसको बोलो कैसे वो change कर देंगे. Rakesh, you cannot see one of the truth. I think all of you accept this and you realize it. It's impossible to study from the class notes if you do not do some jottings. Okay, I mean, this is one of my design this time. I've not done earlier. I'll give you some sessions where I'll help you revise your notes also. Okay, I'll find out how to fix that, but it can't be in a regular time. So you open your class notes. Don't just read. Class notes के headings जो हैं. See, ideally, your synopsis should have been ready. If not ready, ठीक है. At least, okay, note down 3 things from the class notes. Number 1, note all the headings of the topics. Number 2, note down the specific examples. कोई जगह का नाम है, कोई mountain range है, some river, some coastal, note down that. And third thing, okay, you need a bit of practice on diagrams also. Okay, in the class conditions, maybe you are struggling, but itna kaam kar lo, and all of this, only climatology, 6 hours is good enough. I'll suggest today do a marathon types. Go back to your room, maybe start at 8 o'clock in the evening, keep all current affairs aside, kuch nahi padhna hai. 8 se start off. Okay, for most of you, the revision will be over in not more than 2 or 3 hours. It's not that you are blank. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको कुछ याद नहीं है. You know a lot of things. Remember when you began the classes, were struggling with the spelling of Thornwhite, right? अब तो वो नहीं है, I hope, right? अगर spelling problem है Thorndike का, then I'll suggest आप अलग से बात करो मेरे साथ में. Okay, so you are somebody to go after. You are the gold mine for okay, admissions. You talk to me separately. Okay, so I'm sure you do not. Okay, you can't forget things like your spellings. You can't say you can't recall the basic winds. How do you remove this one from here? It's, I think, part of the. Okay. I think it is OBS. Just a minute. Just give me 2 minutes. It's OBS. It's not.
From the view here, यहाँ पे राइट ये बंद कर सकते हैं.
Oh, it is set from the OBS. Just check.
Actually here we have to
Which one?
ये window
कौन सा? This one?
यहाँ पे ये participants
What about it? I've done it. Comes here. ये.
आपके नाम पे
Yeah. None. Huh?
पर
The whole thing will shut down. Should I put this default?
right
Not happening.
यहाँ पे
यहीं पर. What do we do?
एक बार इसको एंड करके स्टार्ट
Then the all of you, you can hear me online, right? Yes. Yeah, please offline 1 minute. Allow me to log out and log back in. Okay, you have the same link will be active, right? Or you must recharge it again. Okay, I have to log out from this. There's one screen I'm missing. Okay, I'm logging out and you log back in. Yeah, same link. Same link? Okay. Let that be there then. Okay. Yeah, can you all hear me online? Yes. You check from it's coming. Check. I think I have a problem here. Check a fine. I think it's fine. Check it now. Okay, thank you. Yes. That's okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, now, yeah, please. Yeah, I'm sorry for the break we had here. Yes, Karunesh. Okay, we all felt the earthquake. So telling you don't move too much. When you move there, earthquake happens here. Okay. Let's get started now. So what you will start with is, I said, give 5 or 6 hours for revising your foundation notes. If synopsis done, फिर तो no issues. फिर आपका revision will not even take you half an hour. Like if not done, you'll require this many hours. But make sure that you don't just read the notes. Like what you must do is, number one, note the headings. Note down the examples and draw quick sketches. और ये सारा खत्म होना चाहिए 5 or 6 hours per unit. For now, I'm saying let it be climatology. But I believe, see, what happens is your synopsis making habit for many of you is fine in the initial sessions. Okay, as the course progresses, I know a bit of fatigue sets in, a bit of confusion starts because juggling too many things. So I do not think you'll have too many problems. Yes. Synopsis is just a summary, beta. Okay, whatever you have read, generally my rule I suggest is a class notes of 8, 9, 10 pages, you compress into 1 page. So let the class get over, then you can come back and talk to us. I'll show you what it looks like. Okay? So I'm assuming आपने कहीं भी class किया होगा, wherever you have done the class, and whatever you have read, if you don't make summaries, for most of you, difficult to read your notes again. So all those who do not know summaries, because I know some of you are not my students directly, कोई बात नहीं. Let's start off in some ways. So for now, okay, you do this. If you have done this, very nice. But to do it now, it will become a bit more trickier because बाकी काम चल रहा है आपका. So you guys focus on this one. Okay, don't just read the notes. You take up the notes, write down the headings, write down the examples, okay, of whatever. Examples ho, facts hai, data hai, okay, and draw sketches. So that's one work, all of you, and I'll suggest, if possible, do it today itself. That's one. Second, I said, answer writing is the key. Okay, in answer writing, I said, we'll give you certain questions, L1 questions, L2 questions, L3 questions. L1, L2, L3, for some of you not initiated, there are different levels of questions. L1 are straight, ज़्यादा सोचना नहीं पड़ेगा. Write a note on impact of Sirocco winds. I write a note on air masses and their modification. What are jet streams and their features? That's an L1 question. L3 questions are more applied questions. Okay, it is not asked directly. घुमा के पूछेगा, कुछ fact पूछेगा आपको. Okay, so now to learn this, if you had enough time, then the process would have been learn it slowly, gradually, build up your writing skills over 6, 7, 8 months. But utna time hamare paas hai nahi. It's something like, if you had time, maybe study geography, okay, as a part of a curriculum in a college, and 3 saal, 2.5 saal ke baad mein you know geography. But what we are doing is, we said, no, don't do that. We are packing things in a short time. Aap samjhe na samjho, we give you notes, memorize, and slowly, gradually you learn. The same technique will apply, okay, for answering also. So your first step of answer writing is, these questions we give you, will give you approximately 20 to 30 answers. Okay, and your work is memorize this. Memorize this, but if required, modify these. Rather than writing from scratch, rather than writing from the word go, I said, ye bana banaya hai, isko le lo, and modified according to what you think you can write down. Okay, some of you might find, I want to add some fact here. I want to add some diagram here. So modify it. Okay, these 20, 30 answers to memorize will require investments. Aapko time lagega. Okay, frustrations honge. So I'm telling you all why, because I said, be ready with, okay, the pressure you have to go through. And I always, okay, repeat one thing to all of you. If you have put your efforts sincerely at a very intense level for 1 good year, generally aap qualify kar jaoge. And a good effort in 1 year, if not that year, the next year you will have a better performing qualify. The problem with us is every year we do small shoddy work. So let this be that type of a grind. Okay, you keep pace. So extra kya padna chhod do. Okay, what extra to read, forget about it. Just be with me in the class. And because I'm assuming most of you, or I'll say all of you, are preparing for 24 attempts. Can I raise your hand, all of you? Okay, so that's a bad question. Okay, preparing for 25, raise your hand. Okay, yeah, that's more relatable. Okay, fine. I'm assuming most of you are preparing for 24. Okay, and let us prepare for 24. And some of you know the terms I use, like a mission mode approach. Ye hamare paas 7-8 mahine hain. Okay, let's put in all our life, all our energies into this. Okay, do whatever it takes, extra padna hoga padhenge, and you are done with this. So with that mindset, get into the memorization mode. Acha, in the class, so this is kind of your self-work. In the class, what I will do is, I'll do 2 things. One is, I'll say there are 3 things I will do. One thing is, I will teach you some new concepts where required. Okay, which I know is not a part of your foundation. Aapne padha nahi hoga, you do not know it. I will kind of enrich you. Okay, give you more content. I will force you to think on some questions. वो आज ही करते हैं demonstrate आपके लिए. The second thing we will do is, I will help you how to create answer structures. If I discuss 5 questions or 4 questions, there'll be 1 question where I will enrich you, 2 or 3 questions where I will teach you structuring, and on some days, I will also write in the class. Okay, कि मेरे सामने अभी लिखो, सोच के लिखो, and we'll do something of that kind. So in this space, what happens is, per class, I can't cover on average more than 3 or 4 questions. If I'm very fast, on some days I will cover 5, 6 questions, and some concepts are tricky, I might cover 1 or 2 questions. On average, यही मेरा coverage होगा. And I can give you per unit, on average, 1 or 2 classes. See, if you depend only on this, you would have learned the techniques, but you will not have a range of answer to write on. That's why you need this one. So these are the 2 important work. Okay, and it has to move. Your classes are on 3 days. Your class is on Tuesday, it is on Thursdays, and it's on Fridays. 3 days you'll have the class. All the 3 days, 4 to 6 p.m. is your class. Of course, if I want to take some extra sessions, I'll let you know. Yes, Vishal. 20-30 questions आपको हम सिर्फ देंगे climatology से ही देंगे. बने बनाए answers. They are well curated, neatly drawn diagrams. Some of you have seen the answers already. I'll add some new. Some of them are older ones. Some of them are newer ones. Your work is इसको याद करेंगे. You will remember this. That's one thing. The next third thing is, how does your course progress? How does the course progress? So, you'll have 4 components of the course. 4 components. The first component is you have a class. Class I will teach. Okay. Plus, I'll give you certain answers which you will memorize. Okay. Then we have your sectional test. Sectional tests के days fixed हैं. Okay. Vaibhav. Okay, we'll talk about that a bit more later. All of you just be with me for a few more minutes. Sectional tests, these are essentially a surprise and new questions test. Say if I give a test of, generally these tests are 14 questions ke test hote hain. Approximately we give you 2 hours to do this. Of the 14 questions, there will be 50-50 or maybe 60-40 or 40-60, whatever. I'll decide on that. Some of which are known questions, which you have memorized, which I have taught you, and some of them will be surprise questions. You have not prepared that. Okay, you should have known, but you have not. I have not told explicitly. Some of them will be the tricky ones. The trick here is, जो आपको memorized हैं, write very fast. जो नहीं memorized हैं, so what we say is, on average, a 10 or 15 mark question, okay, should take about 7 to 8 minutes on the higher side, on average. But the reality is, some of the answers you have memorized, and some of them are the new questions. Now, 7-8 minutes cannot be 7 minutes here and 7 minutes here. It can't be 8 minutes here and 8 minutes here. In reality, the ones you memorize, I'll say, write those answers in 5 minutes. And you give more time here, say give about 9 to 10 minutes here. That's the strategy. So if I give you 10 questions, out of 10 questions, there are 7 questions you know they can ask you and memorize, and 3 questions are surprise questions. On these 7 questions, average, don't give more than 6-7 minutes. तो यहां से जो आपने एक मिनट बचाया है, you'll apply it here. You need more time here because you must think, you must structure. So when I'm saying 7-8 minutes on average for per question, so you will learn how to manage your time in the exam condition. 2 hours means 2 hours. Okay. We will give you a pressure work. Okay. Dekha jaye to you should get less than 2 hours, but I'm giving you 2 hours. Some memorize, some you will learn from scratch. Now, this is your actual test. But the problem is, how do you know whether you have memorized this well or not? How do you know whether the class coverage is done properly or not? So what I do is, before sectional test, we have a component called as practice test. So when you are buying the course, student asks us, sir, kitne tests hain aapke course mein? So most of us tell you this number. We have got 5 sectional tests, plus we have got 4 full-length tests. Sectional tests, 14 questions, all compulsory, no choice. All compulsory and 2 hours. Full-length test is proper 28 questions. You'll have choice and 3 hours to write down. So in sectional test, हम आपको रख रहे हैं pressure में. Okay, if I give you choice, आप छोड़ दोगे topics, right? I don't want that. I want every question to be answered. Okay. But before this, I'm saying, let's have a practice session. Let us see aap likh paate ho ki nahi in the first place. So whatever questions I have given you here, whatever I have taught you here, plus maybe something else I'll give you, I will tell you the questions beforehand, and you will only come and memorize and write. That's all. That's my work. To see your writing speed, the practice tests will not be evaluated. Reason being, आपको मैं आंसर दे रहे हैं, right? ये लो आंसर, रट्टा मार के लिखो. इसमें डाउट क्या हो सकता है? You can't write down, go and check your answer. That's all. So this is a component that we have, and we started learning this in our last PSP program for prelims, where I realized students read and directly give the test. Like it's like, this is learning the skills. This is your next practice. Then you enter a match. Then you go and do a proper, probably join a tournament. So this is a very important part. In the MSP sessions, lot of students were missing this. They said कि सर check नहीं होगा, कोई फायदा नहीं है. I said no, यही फायदा है. Because see, by the time you have finished the climatology, आपने 14 questions यहाँ किया है. You have done 15-20 questions here. I've taught you about 10 odd questions. In climatology, I've helped you cover 40-50 questions. But इसके अंदर question नहीं आना मुश्किल है. And if you still say, sir, I cannot do a question, then don't worry, nobody can do it. It's a competition thing. If somebody can do it, then I better do it, and I'll do it better than you guys. If nobody can do it, if I do not do it, no problem, but I'll still apply and do something. That's my edge. And that's a huge number. So our method of teaching is this. I mean, there's somewhere I call this our evolved pedagogy. Okay, synopsis as a concept, we insist on. Okay, book reading as a concept, we insist on. Okay, you'll never find me telling you my notes are enough. Okay, but itna bhi kar lenge na, you'll have a fair sense of comfort. And aapko dar nahi lagega. Problem is na, we're scared of writing. But after memorizing 20-30 answers, you will not have a fear of writing at all. And believe me, that is where the bulk of the people have an edge, who's qualified. So content pata ho nahi pata ho, if you have that confidence ki yaar main likh lunga kuch na kuch, and nice meaningful words with diagrams, you will score marks. Okay, so this is our method, and the dates are given to you. Okay, now see, there will be reasons when you want to skip a test. तबीयत खराब है और some course है and that course है. See, do not do that. Maintain the pattern. Because if you deviate from the pattern, then you become a lone performer. Yeah, please come in. Then you'll have a problem in keeping pace with the rest. And this examination's biggest problem is that your motivation can crash overnight. Your motivations can get challenged overnight. If by a method of preparation, you can just maintain yourself in the race, forget about winning the race. I said 20 answers memorize, fight, mark it, 20 nahi hua, sir, 15 ho gaya. I said, very good. I said, take a test of 14 questions, now write down. So I came, I sat down, 14 लिख नहीं पाया, लेकिन सर मैंने 10 आंसर लिख डाला. सर वेरी गुड. वो 2-3 जो गैप है हम कर लेंगे बाद में. But if you tell me कि सर मैं प्रिपेयर नहीं हूं, मैं कुछ भी नहीं दूंगा, तो 14 becomes 0. Okay, next test वो डर रहेगा आपका. Next test फिर आप मिस करोगे. And by the time you hit the third test, you're out of the race. So your challenge will be, see, the study in enrichment classes is very different from your foundation classes. Foundation mein to I entertain whatever doubts you have. Okay, I mean, more or less, you have told yourself also, कि नया subject है, गलतियां होती हैं, ठीक है. But enrichment sessions, I will not want that. And to be very honest, most of you are the prospective guys to qualify. Okay, we will give you time, we'll give you content, we'll give you a lot of resource support there. Okay, and like I said, if once I can plan my sessions properly, I'll help you with revisions also. कि आप बैठो हमारे साथ में and let's revise something in case you have forgotten. Nihar, देखो, what marks can you score? You can score 290, 300, 310. Like my own student has gone in the range of 315, 320 also. Okay, but see, that is not the objective to start with. The objective is, let us get a process right. Let's get a method right. Okay, for some of you with the method, you are stuck at 260. For some of you with the method, you can cross 280. So, abhi uski baat nahi. Let's not scare ourselves right now. Shweta, I'll help you with all of, don't worry. I'll help you with all of that. So right now, don't set a target. I want to score 300 types. No, abhi aapka target kya hai? मुझे 15-20 क्वेश्चन याद करना है. That's all, nothing else. ठीक है? I hope you understood the method now. So these are some of the non-negotiable things. Okay, you will memorize the answers. You will be part of class discussions. Okay, try revising whatever you can. And I know this will take some time to build up momentum also. For most of it will take you about 2 weeks time before you hit your top gear. Okay, so ठीक है, will be patient there. Don't worry. Yes, all the tests are online. Classes also online. Okay, the discussions online. So whatever we provide offline is also there for you online. One additional thing, those who are online students, I invite them, if you are around Delhi NCR and you can come, then come for physical sessions of practice test and sectional test. Writing in your room with the comfort of your own environment is not same as writing from an exam center. Okay, so आप पढ़ रहे हो, ठीक है, okay, Ajay, that's okay. If I'm Mumbai, don't come only for the test. Okay, but maybe on some days of sectional tests, sir, 5 में से 1 में आके कर देता हूँ, कोई बात नहीं, आ जाना उसमें. I said no, if you can come, it's nice. Okay, पापा के पास helicopter है, plane है. Okay, and if Papa can take the class from here, even I'll go with you, don't worry. Okay, but it all depends on Papa ji. If Papa, okay, changa, to maybe also changa. Okay, if you can come, it will help you. The physical experience of sitting in a practice test and sectional test is very different. You know the pressure of time and competition a bit differently. Otherwise, don't worry. Online bhi aap kar sakte ho, no issues there. One. A very important thing for all of you. We give you, okay, 48 hours to write the test and submit. Online ho kya offline ho. So, aaj test announce kiya, aap aaj de lo, kal de lo, okay, and then the portal closes. See, if you can't manage in 48 hours, then you can't manage at all. As simple as that. 48 hours में आपको 3 घंटा निकालना है और 2 hours निकालना है और 1 hour निकालना है. You decide at what time. रात के 12 बजे, सुबह 8 बजे, दोपहर 5 बजे. It's your choice. And I'm not here to police you. आप थोड़ी अभी class 5th, 6th के बच्चे हैं आप लोग. That seriousness you must have. So please do not request to postpone the timings for another day. I will not do it. Last time we did it because my team said कि सर सभी देते हैं, ये करते हैं. मैंने कहा I will not do it. Because if you cannot manage in 48 hours, just 2 hours of a preparation, फिर आप क्यों prepare कर रहे हैं? Like, you're taking too much of liberty, you're spoiling your preparation. Okay, I mean online guys, this is a fact. The fact you have got liberty कि हम कभी भी video देख लेंगे, most of you don't finish the course properly. The course completion is much higher in classes where we don't give you recordings at all. फिर आप मर पड़ के देखते हो. Like out of 10 classes, एक आध नहीं देख पाए, you take a notes. So please do not extend, okay, that part right now. You stick to the time and we'll be there supporting. Okay, so that's the initial program thing. Now let me quickly help you analyze the paper. Okay, I'm doing climatology. This is the first topic we are starting with. Yes, Charu, that's nice. I really appreciate it. Ashish. Okay, now this is that's nice. Vishakalashi, if you'd ask me nobody, okay, will study honestly if you have the freedom to study on your own. कोई नहीं कर पाता है. It's time pressure that most of us can achieve some things. So unless you have a very strong reason कि भाई हम recording देखेंगे अलग बात है. Otherwise, for most of you, be with the live sessions. Okay, so very nice. Okay, now one thing for all of you. See, the exam is lot of pressure. Let's accept that. And ये भी fact है that when you start preparation, you have lot of assumptions about the exam. And more importantly, you have lot of assumptions about yourself. आपको अपना skill पता नहीं होता है. Your own competencies, okay, you are challenged with. Better come inside here. Okay, so we make all kind of targets. हमें पता ही नहीं है how much time I need to prepare, to write down notes. Most of us don't even know how much time it takes to memorize something. Okay, so when you start the preparation, you have assumptions about yourself. You have sometimes, mostly, you got wrong assumptions about exam also. Okay, and there is pressure. So my suggestion to all of you is, pressure to rahega, but please do not take unnecessary pressure, which is unrealistic. When you join the classes, सर मैं सुबह CSAT कर लूंगा, आफ्टरनून में GS कर लेना है, शाम को ज्योग्राफी करके और शाम को जाके मैंने पढ़ा भी देना इंस्टीट्यूट में जाकर. Right? You got all types of assumptions about your skills. Okay, or time निकाल कर, I'll also go for jogging and exercise and what else. So when you enter the exam, you realize कि game कुछ और ही है. Okay, so I'm saying it already is pressure prone. Do not increase pressure unnecessarily and be wise to know that this is unnecessary pressure. Like somebody this morning came up to me, asked me, sir, मुझे लग रहा है कि मैं शायद 24 के लिए I can't get ready. Should I go for 25? I said, if you think so, yes. Then he says, sir, ऐसा तो नहीं है, sir, I'm running away from hard work. There's a doubt there. Okay. Then I had to ask him, tell me very honestly, forget about what you are doing. Say you are supposed to guide somebody, maybe your younger brother. Okay, उसको आप guide क्या करते? So उसको guide करता कि जल्दबाजी ना करो, take your time, and this year is not possible, अगले साल करो. Which means you know you're right or wrong, correct? Okay, so don't kill yourself by saying I'm running away from the exam. नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. I know while I'm teaching geography, I parallelly can't teach history. I know my domain is not polity. I know I do not know mathematics. And if I tell कि मैं mathematics नहीं पढ़ाऊंगा, history नहीं पढ़ाऊंगा, it's not I'm running away from my work. I know my limits. So it's perfectly fine if you guys decide कि sir 24 is a wrong thought of mine, मुझे पता नहीं था. It happens. बहुत बार तो you are planning a parent's plan for you. ठीक है, होता है. It's not a new thing. हर साल होता है. The parent says give exam, आप pressure में हो. Okay, so you must be wise here. If you genuinely think so 25 is the what my attempt should be, then my request to all of you is then drop out of this program of enrichment, do it next year. I as the institute, as a teacher, I'm telling you to postpone it. Why? Because ये जो cramming है, somebody this morning itself again. So I started GS in June. Okay, and I'm doing geography right now. और मुझे 24 एग्जाम देना है. अच्छा, कैसे प्लान किए हो आप? जून में GS स्टार्ट करते हो, मिनिमम 10 महीने तो लगेगा GS खत्म होने के लिए. How are you even thinking about prelims? And most of you don't even have an idea. You need a component beyond foundation. इसमें guilty होने का क्या बात है? You realize the mistakes, that it was wrong planning. That's okay, fine, accept it. Now you have done that, which means now you are wise. So 25 should be a killer attempt. क्या qualify करके निकालना है मुझे. इतना time मिल गया है मुझे, almost 1.5 2 years मिल गया है. Now I can't make a mistake. So all of you, my suggestion this. But yes, what you can do is maybe sit with me for 1 week or 10 days and let's see what the pressure is. You can cope or not. If you can't cope, for heaven's sake, don't kill yourself. We want people who are ambitious, who are committed. We want people who are willing to work hard. But सबका अपना एक boundary है. Hard work at the cost of a mental health, at the cost of physical health. आप बीमार पड़ जा रहे हैं, आपको depression हो जा रहा है. Your spinal problem. A lot of people have developed a cervical problem because of sitting postures. 8-8 घंटा बैठोगे तो क्या होगा बताओ? So don't do that, please. This examination is a long haul thing. Don't kill yourself like this. So Mehekdeep, my suggestion to all of you is, be with me for 1 week, 10 days and see you can cope or not. If you can't cope, perfectly fine. But a request to all of you is, please give us in writing mail. I have joined in 24 or 23 say enrichment, but I'm not able to cope with it. Okay, I'll give the examination 25 May. Please shift my batch to 24 September, October. Then what we'll do is, we will remove your access to the classes. Okay, because otherwise I have no idea आपने class किया भी है कि नहीं किया है. See, at the end of the day, I'm running institute, right? I can't be distributing classes just like that. Somebody again came up to us. He was my student in 2020. Sir, मैं तब class नहीं कर पाया, test नहीं दे पाया, sir, वो मुझे अभी shift कर दो. मैं कहा, बेटा आप ही अकलमंद हो इसका मतलब. What am I doing here? So I'm giving you the flexibility. I understand you might have taken wrong decisions. Okay. We accept the fact you might be under pressure, but then let us know as a formal mail. अगर आपका mail नहीं आया मेरे पास में, and you do not get a mail acknowledging this, then I'll assume your course is done. Next year, I will not extend your validity. Let's be clear here. Let's play it fair. Okay. So Aman, you know now. Okay, you know now what you should do. Go for it. Mail ID, very simple, hello@edukemy.com. Mention subject में बता देना to shift enrichment to 2024 September, October. Please mention your name, mention your batch, your registered phone number, okay, so that we can accordingly deactivate your access. Okay, this is hello@edukemy.com. All good here? Yes, Mehekdeep, content different hoga. Every year, my content will change by approximately 30-40% because enrichment is very contemporary. Okay, so uske liye pareshan mat ho. You will do what you are capable of doing. Yes, yes. Okay, so that's okay. That shouldn't be an issue. Because I look at the question paper asked, accordingly modify the questions. But that can't be a consideration ki, okay, abhi join karengi, baad mein join kare. Okay, I'm done with all of this. Now, how many of you know? Now I'm asking you questions, all of you. Climatology. How many questions har saal poochta hai climatology? Anybody can tell me? How many questions? Okay. It is generally 3 questions. 2022 mein, they had asked 4 questions. When 4 questions, they generally ask, okay, a 10 marker, maybe 15 marker के 2 होते हैं और एक 20 mark का होता है, generally. If 3 questions, they ask 1 10 marker always, they ask 15 marker, sometimes they can ask a 20 marker or another 15 marker. This year, they have done this, which means your climatology is worth about 40 to 60 marks. Be ready with this. And that's a lot of marks. Okay. And of the units asked, can you tell me yes. See, if you do not understand this design, you'll not know how to prepare. You must know what are the important sections. I expect aapko karna chahiye analysis. Some of you have done that. Good, nice. So be aware of this. This year, so next year, who knows? They might go for 60 less likely. Mostly they've asked 40 marks, 10 mark, okay, 15, 40, 45 पूछते हैं, and 20 marks. Generally ये करते हैं. They ask 45 marks generally, and 3 questions. Okay, now, if you look at syllabus, 2 things. One is, historically, more questions are asked, air masses, fronts, okay, classification and applied topics. ये ज़्यादा पूछा जा रहा है. Okay, and the other range they ask is jet streams, general local winds, and once in a while, एक ही बार they've asked one on hydrological cycle. This is the trend. Okay, so this is more important for us. Every alternate year, they ask you on classification. Okay, this is almost like a trend. So, you know, next year, this is a possible question, classification. Okay, this year, they kept the questions more on this side. It's unusual. This year, they had one question on the factors of local winds. They had one question on geostrophic winds. Okay, so which means the questions are more on this side. ये वाला पूछा नहीं है. My guess, next mains में is again becomes important. अच्छा, a must cover every year. There's one question on applied aspect, 100%. Directly, indirectly, generally climate change or related to certain extreme events. Okay, or related to certain programs. A program wale questions mostly asked in the GS paper. So one applied based question is there definitely. Okay, so our focus will be, I will give this to you in the form of your model answers. से पढ़ाना कुछ नहीं है, आप अपने आप करो. The tricky ones I'll ask you, and I will teach you some of these concepts. अच्छा, apart from applied, they also ask, okay, certain tricky questions that demand a new way of structuring. Topic वही है. Say, write a note on local winds. Write a note on Sirocco. Write a note on factors that create local winds. Can you understand this question here? So for most of you, इस साल पूछा है. This time's question was, write a note on factors affecting local winds. All the questions I've discussed with some team that we have, none of them could catch the idea कि सब factors पे कैसे लिखें. Local winds I know. I can add a note on Fawn winds, Chinook winds, what are Sirocco winds, what is Khamsin, what is Harmattan, what is वो लिख देंगे. ऐसे नहीं उसमें मत लिखो. Write on the factors. Most of them struggled with सब factors का listing कैसे करेंगे. So it's a question जो difficult नहीं था, but the way the demand the structuring, that was a challenge. I mean, I'm reading out the, I'm sure some of you have, all of you have seen the questions here. Okay, check this out. This was the question. Question was 3A. Can you all see the screen, all of you? Question 3A, can you see the screen? It says, what are the causes of origin of local winds, and discuss the significance of the weather climate in various regions with suitable examples. और पूछा है 20 मार्क में पूछा है क्वेश्चन आपका. Okay, so the पहला पार्ट है, it's a tricky one. कि अलग से बताओ what are the causes. You should have 1 or 2 paragraphs on this. The causes are the leeward effect and descending adiabatic warming as a factor. The causes are local heating, sandstorms in the deserts. The causes are winter conditions, extreme heating, extreme cooling, and anticyclonic conditions creating, say local winds. The factors causes are, land water differential. The factors are, causes are the differences in temperature along the slopes. So mountain breeze and valley breeze. You all know the answer. But exam pressure में आपको strike नहीं करेगा इसको क्या किया जाए. Most of them who met me, they have missed the first part completely. They directly entered. So one of them, what he did was, so he wrote, sir, I wrote Sirocco winds and what they are. Fawn winds, what they are and what they do. Lu and what they do. ऐसे वो तो आपने second part कर दिया. मुझे पहला बताओ. अच्छा. The difference between what is the effect and what is its significance, तो फर्क है. जैसे कि the effect is it makes the conditions cold. Significance is that it is a climate hazard for the crops. The effect is it makes the areas moist. The significance is it moderates the temperature of the coastal areas. ये दो अलग terms हैं. Okay, so the effect is not same as significance. Significance is in terms of its importance. So I'm giving example. ये देख के लगे कहां सर हो जाएगा ये. ऐसे लिख के दिखाओ. Okay, I can challenge 9 out of 10 will make mistake here. Okay, so it is just that we are not wired to think on the questions properly. अब तो मैंने कह दिया, अब आप ध्यान से पढ़ोगे. हाँ सर, तो से ऐसे my question of the boy was कि say I change the question. My question is, what are local winds? Okay, discuss different types of winds in different parts of the world. तो तब भी जो आप लिखा था आंसर, was it the answer question I gave you or this question? या सर आपने जो पूछा उसका क्वेश्चन आंसर लग रहा है. तो ये तो आंसर किया ही नहीं ना आप लोगों ने. Have you got the point here? So every year I'll show this to you. There's one question where they twist the demand of that particular topic. So be alert here. Influence or effect में फर्क क्या है? Okay, ना same thing. Influence effect same है. Difference है significance में. The question says discuss the significance. So that's a bit different than simply impact. Okay, your answer won't be wrong, but if you can catch that word, okay, then you write more appropriately. Yes, a bit of application based. The impact is warming. Significance of that weather is it does something to the crops. Impact is cooling. The significance is it impacts the way we use the land and where we make our houses. The impact, it moderates. The significance is those areas have some kind of different type of human activities. I hope you got the point here. जैसे कि Switzerland में the significance of fawn winds is lot of glacial lakes, they melt, which becomes the basis of supporting Switzerland's economy, dairying economy. Those lakes are like oases, so mountain oases बोलते हैं. So Switzerland is very important for tourism, important for farming, dairy farming, agriculture. The पानी कहाँ से आता है? It comes from these kind of lakes, which they call as mountain oasis. Now this was an important point. So you're just writing, it makes the area warm. ठीक है, सब लिख दिया है. But this one step beyond, that is your edge. So I want you to study the question. See, ये एक mistake करते हैं. We don't study questions properly. Is it okay, all of you here? I'm just demonstrating one point. So come back here. Yes, absolutely, Anurag. The question fjords. One, this is a topic that can't be taught in the foundation optional class. Fjords आपको पता होना चाहिए. That is basic NCERT. That is GS. You should know what fjords are. But the question was, okay, why are they so beautiful? Okay, अब क्या लिखोगे आप? ठीक है, 10 मार्क का क्वेश्चन पूछा, 15 मार्क का क्वेश्चन. What will you do here? This is where your creativity comes in. And this answer you can't read anywhere. Yes, why are the picture is correct. You think about it, कि क्या होता होगा fjords में. You should have seen or have an idea. So they do this thing. ऐसा question you cannot say syllabus के बाहर है और है भी नहीं. So they do this game. Okay, and the whole intention is that they need people who can think beyond a regular bookish type of study. Yes, Apurv, nice. Na, hindsight हम बहुत कुछ लिख लेंगे. I hope you got the point, all of you. So let's get back to our discussion. I said, okay, these are the more important areas. These are, okay, the standard questions. ये पता होना चाहिए. And applied is one type of questions पूछते हैं. Second is they ask strict questions. Change the wording, okay, change the phrases or terms a bit, and then you're on. So I'm demonstrating one question to all of you. Likho up. Start off now. Okay. The question is, okay. The urban heat island, all of you attentive. The urban heat island is a critical factor. The urban heat island is a critical factor for air quality management. For air quality management and public health in urbanized areas. The urban heat island is a critical factor for air quality management and public health in urbanized areas. Comment. Anybody who does not know urban heat island? I believe 100% of us have heard it, and I'm sure you have read it. Okay. But it is impossible you could have read it like this. In foundation classes, we just tell you what the term is, draw a diagram, give examples, you are done. But let's read the question a bit more carefully. Yes, Nikhil, thank you. Urban heat island is a critical factor in quality management. Sorry, in air quality management. In air quality management and public health in urbanized areas. Question क्या पूछ रहा है? That if you do not manage urban heat island, you will have problems of pollution. Ajay, by the way, come back. I'll do some discussion here. Okay. There is urban heat island, और एक है, there is a term called as pollution. One box is the cause box, another box is the effect box. Say this is term B and this is term A. Cause में क्या डालोगे आप? Will you put urban heat island as a cause and effect is pollution? Or will you add pollution as a cause and urban heat island is a effect, consequence? Batao. 1, 2. Cause, effect. Forget the question asked. Okay? I'm asking you beyond the question. Question chhodo jo pucha. Okay. Some of you say, I will put urban heat island here. The cause is, so effect is pollution. Some will say, sir, pollution is the cause. The effect is urban heat island. So tell me how many if you agree with 1, how many agree with 2? How would you know the discussion? Anybody? Rajnikant. Okay. My name tells me, आप मुझे घुमाओगे. Like yes, कुछ पकड़ में आया, समझ में आया something. So make up your mind. Okay, ये 1 आपके लिए 1 है कि 2 है? अच्छा, next. When it asks you, when the question says, urban heat island as a major health aspect. Okay, urban heat island as a major air quality aspect. वो कौन सा पूछ रहा है? 1 पूछ रहा है कि 2 पूछ रहा है? If you get that, then you know that we're on for some conversation here. Okay, now listen. Most of us have studied two. Pollution causes urban heat island. Question पूछ रहा है कि how does urban heat island impact air quality? पूछ आपको ये रहा है. Can all appreciate this? For most of us, you see urban heat island, आपको जो पता आप लिख के आ जाते हो. What's urban heat island? All of you will draw the quick dome there. Okay, buildings, inversion लिख देंगे. Urban heat island, we'll talk about pollution plumes. Some of you will mention cloud burst. Example is Delhi, Bangalore. So, फोड़ के आए हैं sir. Yeah, man, some of you would have done that, I'm sure. But you get a sense of what the question is now? Now you tell me, okay, how is urban heat island a reason for pollution? How is urban heat island a reason for health issues? So health issues, I think all of us agree, a lot of heat, it can cause us heat stroke. Okay, इसके आगे आप क्या बोलेंगे? Most of us don't have beyond this, right? Urban heat island causes heat stroke. Some of us a bit more imaginative. Sir, urban heat island can cause floods. Flood से malaria हो गया, dengue हो गया. Okay, I developed cancer also. Okay, that's a problem. Yeah? Mental health problem. I look so confused. पता नहीं exam आज है कि कल है, I do not know. Okay, so mental health. So mental health and heat are related. Anger issues is a reality. You get impatient, anger issues, irritable and all of that. ठीक है? Okay. तो ये वाला write-up जो है ना, this is not the cutting edge write-up. यहाँ बताओ, how is urban heat island a reason for pollution? If you get that, yes. Urban heat island is a consequence of inversion. Urban heat island के वजह से inversion नहीं है. Remember this. Okay. Urban heat island is a consequence of inversion. Now you can write it. Say you can write something. That's okay. But now look at this. How is urban heat island a reason for pollution? Number one, urban heat island में these areas are generally relatively more dry. There's something called as Bowen ratio. Not the same one as partial melting. Okay, Bowen ratio is a ratio between the latent heat and the sensible heat amount. If you've got less amount of moisture, the latent heat is less. Okay, so urban areas which have heat effect, they're more dry. Because they're more dry, the soil, the sediments, they are more dry and these can release as aerosols. Zyada dhool udta hai, right? Dry conditions, you have got more aerosols. So dust pollution is more common in case of urban heat island. That's one point. And I added some technical idea ताकि लगे कि you have studied something. Okay, that's one. Number two, because of higher temperatures, there is faster disintegration of plastic wastes. Are you aware of this? The plastics, they can emit more of VOCs. Volatile organic compounds. Okay, so some of the releases are also relatively more toxic. So that's an example of a pollution. Plastic ऐसी रखा हुआ है in the hot conditions and plastic in cold conditions. In the hot conditions, they tend to disintegrate more and they release some noxious fumes. VOC क्या है, Vagashav? Okay, VOC is volatile organic compounds. Lot of VOCs are part of some smell, जो fragrance है, or bad odor, all of that is VOC. So urban heat island में the plastic disintegrations are higher, and this increases the toxicity of the atmosphere. That's how they impact air quality aspects. Okay. Third point. Are you all with me, all of you? Okay. The third point. Urban heat island की वजह से, because of urban heat island, okay, what we also have is, if there is more VOC and if there is more nitrous compounds in the presence of heat and sunlight, more likely to have more of tropospheric ozone, which becomes the photochemical smogs. When you have urban heat island, you'll have more of VOC, और बताया आपको मैंने. You also have more of nitrogen emissions, because of which you have the island, and this can create tropospheric ozone, which is bad ozone, along with formation of smogs, photochemical smogs. So that is one example of pollution. Okay. A fourth point. Urban heat island, okay, these are called as energy heat cool trap. They're called as energy heat cool trap. What I mean by this, देखो, it's hot. You can't go outside. You're in the room. आपने AC लगाया. The ACs will make the air out all the more hotter. You can't again go out. You again stay there. So it gets hot outside, because of which you must use more and more of air conditioners. Okay, so this is a cycle now. Garam lag raha hai, I'm using AC. The AC you're using is making the air all the more hotter. Okay, so this use of air conditioners and use of vehicles. Now, these are causes of, again, emissions and pollution. Till the time we have, okay, converted all energy into EV or into hydrogen clean energy, the more AC you use, the more urban heat island you have. Yes, in some cases, that this can also result in hydrochlorofluorocarbons, correct, and ozone issues. तो ये भी issue है. Is it okay, all of you here? Achha. You forget one more thing. Urban heat island, okay, there are problems of what's called as incinerations and fires. They can cause forest fires and they can cause landfill fires. Have you heard about landfill fires? Okay, जो dump होता है, landfill fires are those dumps where you dump the solid wastes. Okay, those areas can catch fire, and urban forests can also catch fire. इसका example है in Bangalore, extreme heat में, you know about Belandur Lake? Belandur Lake, okay, has a lot of fires, and these are all toxic fumes, correct? Toxic fumes हैं, which pollute even more. ठीक है? So aerosol impact of VOCs and plastics decomposition, impact of nitrous oxides, impact of ozone emissions, photochemical smogs, the impact related to your cool heat traps, the impact because of forest fires, and incineration का मतलब होता है burning of landfills, burning of the forests. Now, once you have this, now you know, oh yes, so urban heat island can also be a cause for pollution. It's like a vicious cycle now. It's like a vicious cycle. So pollution causes urban heat island. This further causes pollution, and this goes on. It's like that positive, no escape. Yes, cycles, correct. Is it okay, all of you? Now see, Why I taught this to you? Because the couple of articles which have come out on these issues. In the examination hall, they may not ask this at all. But if they ask you impact of climate change, problems of urban environment, problems related to emissions, आप एक पैराग्राफ डाल सकते हो ना? So maybe this question is not asked directly, but you have a very new perspective of dealing with the problem called urban heat island. और वो तो पक्का question बनेगा in some way or the other. So now your answer is enriched. ठीक है, all of you fine here? So think of the answer now. Think of the answer structuring. I hope you got the content now. Yeah, you got the content, all of you? Now see, इसको लिखना कैसे है? How to write this down? See, any answer writing, it requires a structure. It requires some kind of a design. So when you read the model answers we give you, please be conscious about how is the answer designed. वो आपको दिखाई नहीं देगा और आपको देख के लगेगा हाँ अच्छा लिखा है. But why is it good is the design part. Like, if you look at a movie, okay, the editing is a very, very scientific work. कौन सा scene काट रहे हैं, कहाँ जोड़ रहे हैं, okay, where they show some scenes, where they add some songs, where are they putting flashback. It's a very big science. A category of people called as film editors, and they get Oscars. Okay, so movie is good not because acting is good alone. Editing should be equally very good. वो हमें लेकिन पता नहीं चलता. When I'm seeing a movie, I see it run like a smooth story. I don't realize कि कैसे कैसे जोड़ रखा है मैंने. I hope you got the point here. तो वैसे ही, in the answers you write, the structuring generally is not as obvious. वो दिखाई नहीं देगा आपको. लेकिन देख के लगेगा, oh, it's very nice. Or sometimes something is wrong with this answer. I don't know what I'm missing here. And that's generally about how it is structured, how it is designed. So my suggestion to all of you in this is, any answer design structure, there is always some kind of storyline, always. For some of us, the storyline comes very naturally. हमें struggle नहीं करना पड़ता. Why? Because we have done this so many times. For others, you must do it very consciously. Yes, every write-up, Artika. Okay. Forget the idea, okay, of spontaneous writing abhi. In fact, when I'm teaching or when I'm training some of my team members, okay, for teaching in the class. So one of the assignments is that nothing as a part of a delivery is spontaneous. आप सब प्लान करके आएंगे. कौन सा टर्म कब बोलना है, okay, what to follow as example, when will you ask question to a student, okay, and anticipate कि क्या बोलेगा और क्या नहीं बोलेगा. It's all designed. आपको पता नहीं चल रहा होगा. Why? Because you think it is smoothly done. But every lecture has some kind of a design to it. So ऐसे ही write-ups में nothing is spontaneous to start with. You'll consciously design it. Yes, दिखने में लगेगा it's spontaneous. Okay, so I mean, see, I mean, I know somebody who is a pretty famous actor in Bollywood. I know him through a friend of mine. So ऐसी बात हो रही थी, and ऐसी बात I asked him. Okay, one of them asked other, how do you remember so much of scripts? You're by heart and deliver. He said, all good actors do one thing. They take the script and they write the entire script in their own handwriting again. And when writing, they're thinking, कैसे कैसे बोला जा रहा है. Okay, until you write on your own, you'll never develop the feel. It's like, the same script is literally reproduced. And then they think about it. So my point is, many of you have that desire. Sir, question देखा और लिख डालेंगे. ऐसा नहीं होने वाला. You'll have to go through a process. The process is develop a storyline to it. So in this question, okay, urban heat island, as a very important aspect of air quality management, a very important aspect of health. And I said, give me your opinion. Comment का मतलब होता है, give me your opinion. What do you think? Am I right? Am I wrong? Is this valid? Not valid? Give your opinion. ठीक है? So storyline for me will be, okay. So I generally divide a storyline into 5 or 6 boxes. Okay. So पहले हम ये बोलेंगे, फिर हम ये बोलेंगे, then I'll come here, then I'll come here. Then only 5, 6 में your story should be there. Moment you have more than 6, 7 boxes, you can't handle it. So the question was, the urban heat island is a critical factor of air quality management and public health in urbanized areas. Okay, I'll start with urban heat island as a phenomena. Okay, I'll move towards that urban heat island is the consequence of something. Okay, but urban heat island also causes something. I'll elaborate. Okay, because of which, okay, so focusing on urban health issues or focusing on air pollution requires urban heat island management. And conclusion is some examples of programs undertaken. That's my storyline. Looks very simple for most of us, but आप यही करने में आप struggle करोगे. I'm starting with urban heat island as a phenomena. क्या है बताएंगे? 2 lines define it. Urban heat island is a phenomena where the urban area is localized. Heating the temperatures of the urban area is approximately 3 to 4 to 5 degrees higher than the countryside. It is because of the inversion phenomena where the upper air gets relatively warm and so on. Ab diagram bana ke bata do. Okay, then urban heat island is a consequence of pollution. Concretization is a consequence of emissions, particularly vehicular emissions, because of deforestation, loss of the green cover. Okay, then I'll quickly shift towards mera actual answer yahan par hai. So this in my plan is 1 paragraph. This I will make a diagram, and this I'll finish in about half a page, and all of this another 1 page, maximum 2 page, but mujhe khatam karna hai 1.5, 1 page or 1.5 page. That's my design, my storyline. Okay, once I've done this, urban heat island also causes, now whatever I have told you, that is your bulk of the content. How it causes health problems, depression, heat strokes, irritability, temper management, anger issues, road rage. Likho jo goli dena de raha wahan par. Okay, and urban heat also the cause of pollution. Now this is your new content. Isko अच्छे से लिखना है with diagrams and explanations. Therefore, I'm saying that while our government focuses on reducing pollutants, reducing emission control, whatever, we must have a conscious plan to deal with urban heat island also. And this requires long-term solutions. Long-term solutions, 3 types. Okay, 3 types is, let's talk about, I must impact the moisture area. So forests hone chahiye hamare paas long term. I must ensure that I move towards EV vehicles. I must ensure that we move towards plastic free urban areas. ठीक है, 2-3 points yahan par. I must ensure that our landfill management is good. The first is, what is urban heat island? What's the phenomena? 2-3 line mein khatam karo. What are the factors? Don't describe this. It will take too much of words. Put a diagram, put a schematic. Okay, put some sketches, put some bullets. I'm done with this one. The third is, but urban heat island causes pollution and health problems. जो आपको मैंने अभी dictate कराया आपको answer. ठीक है? That's approximately about 1 page. Then you move towards, now that it's a problem, what can we do to solve it? So long-term, urban island-based pollution requires long-term urbanization development, forest programs, horticultures. We'll talk about landfill management, removal of solid waste like plastic waste and so on. Okay, and end karo, in recent times, the government has taken lot of efforts to control air pollution. Summer scheme hai, if you know. Okay, we have got the AQM, AQI as our parameters. Yes. Okay, we have got वो क्या है आपका for Delhi NCR? GRAP, not GAP, GRAP, GRAP, GRAP. GRAP approach to solve. Yes. Okay. Urban heat island also by reducing stubble burning. If you know about the the technology happy seeder, right? Okay, yes, to reduce the burning of paralis, correct. So this is the concept, the examples and programs names I write here. So half page here, maybe about less than half page here, the bulk of the answer is here. This is my body. That's my storyline. Yeah, uske baad likho. I hope you got the point, all of you. Now see, this type of answer writing, आप एक दिन में एक या दो ही कर सकोगे maximum. And that's why I'm saying that don't expect कि you can write all answers. You cannot do it. That's why I'm giving you model answers. दो लिखो और 10 मुझसे लेकर रट्टा मारो ना. Rahul, this is something a part of your writing culture. मत डालो. Now that you have time, एक तो बताओ, why do you want to add geographer's name? Yeah, but then difference का बहुत तरीका है. Okay, GS answer यहां पर is urban heat island को ही आपने define किया अलग से. So don't force geographical scholars everywhere just because somebody told you that. So this is one of the issues here. Okay, watch. I'll explain it to you. Your challenge is how to make a general question or write-up look like a geography answer. ये आपका challenge है ना? This is a challenge all of us have. How to make a general GS type of question look like a geography concept, a geography answer. इसके 4-5 tools हैं. Okay. One tool is, I'm saying, not all of them together. One tool is you use geographical concepts like Bowen's heat ratio, urban heat island and inversion as a phenomena. Okay. The concept of there's a difference of temperature between the urban areas and countryside. There's a contrast of temperatures. ये terms GS बच्चा अगर पता है, okay, then he knows a bit more than expected out of him. Generally, these concepts will not happen without a geographical base. To use और मैं use किया आप concept define किया मैं किया है. The second tool is use specific examples, okay, with locations and places in reference. Belandur Lake, Bangalore, all urban areas have urban heat island. It's more likely in areas which are far away from the coast. Continentality is a very important reason why we can have urban, and examples मैंने बता दिया. Where possible, try to use some geographer's name. You can do that. Now, a fourth aspect is the topic is already a geography topic. If I ask a question, how has cropping pattern changed because of climate change? ये geography question, इसमें और extra geography जरूरत नहीं है. It itself is geography question. Asked in GS requires geography inputs there. So urban heat island and its management is already a geography topic. I hope you got the point, all of you here. So वहां पर don't force everything. So for this question, rather than searching for geographers' names, you sit down and recall कि इसमें programs का नाम क्या डालूंगा. What are the initiatives taken? One example of urban heat island in recent times. I hope you got it, all of you here. So what happens, most of them are taught that use geographers' names and use names or terms from geographical thought. Zaruri nahi hai. You don't need it. You tell me, okay, a problem like water management and problems of water pollution, it can't be covered under history, okay, or economy or polity. It has to be environment or geography. वो अपने आप में geography question है. You don't force it anywhere beyond that. Yes, the questions on how does strait impact trade? Strait sea routes is geography. उसमें add कर देते हो, maybe rimland theory, that's your smartness. But don't force anything beyond it. इस question में, the geography was the term itself, inversion of air, some technical words I gave you, okay, वो अपने आप में geography बन गया. Yeah, yes. No, Anuba, the model answers already have diagrams. Your work will be, if you can modify it, make it better, or modify it to suit your writing style, or modify it to suit your writing pace. When I give a model answer, I'm giving approximately 2.5, 3 pages. But maybe some of you can write slowly, which means you must shorten that answer. That will be your modification. Or some of you feel that इसमें एक और example आ सकता था, आप add कर लो उसमें. That's a modification. Did I answer your question? Answer your question? Yeah. Then you give examples more from India. Correct. Yes. So paper 2 may give more Indian examples. Paper 1 may make it more conceptual. If possible, write more global examples. But let that not, okay, trap you in researching too much. हमारा problem क्या है? In trying to research content, we don't think at all, structure at all. तो आपने क्या किया, एक दिन और फिर भी आपको नहीं मिलेगा कंटेंट. Okay, आपने रिसर्च करके, okay, I know the content, but लिखना आप छोड़ दोगे आप. As a whether paper 1 or paper 2, whatever you know, try structuring the answer. So research work, I'll suggest, leave it to me. Leave it to the model answers or the booklets we give. आपका काम है, okay, try structuring the answer. Memorize the answer. Okay. Ayukti will come to that eventually. Explain. कमेंट में आपको ओपिनियन पूछ रहा है, ठीक है, या फिर पूछेगा डिस्कस एक्सप्लेन. More or less we don't differentiate much, but comment can be what's your opinion. So my opinion, yes, I believe, or it is a point of important consideration that we talk about. My comment is we talk about long-term amelioration through forest programs. So simply not air quality monitoring. Yes, towards the end, correct. Okay. Deepti, give me some time for that. I'll come to it. For this question, you do not need anything more than this. Yes. Stand definition. नहीं, जनरल का मतलब क्या कहना चाह रहे हो? Now listen, he's asking introduction. Okay, fine. Give me, I got your points. Now see. Generally, my suggestion is, unless it is an important technical concept, don't try definition based off introduction. What are local winds? Don't define local winds. Okay. Cropping patterns and how they have changed. Don't define cropping patterns. Unless your question is some important technical concept like urban heat island, like inversion, like geostrophic winds, like the concept of temperate cyclones maybe, or fronts maybe. Avoid definition type of introductions. Definition type of introductions are the safe bet. ठीक है, कुछ नहीं आता define कर देते हैं यार. How in recent times has health problem changed? Whatever. Don't start by defining health. It's a very, very bland, totally monotonous and not thought about introductions. Unless कोई technical word है, important concept है. One. Number two, it's impossible in definition also, you know the exact words. आप पढ़ते ही नहीं हो तो छोड़ो, पूछ क्यों रहे हो फिर? But make sure you write in a proper, decent way. किताब खोल के रट्टा मार के उतारो. I hope you got the point here. It's impossible. You guys are studying or memorizing definitions. But I want your language to be good, decent language. How do you learn that? The question is, write a note on fronts and their consequence. किताब खोलो, fronts देखो कैसे लिखा है, उसको उतार लो. इसी आंसर में ये आंसर लिखोगे अपने आप याद हो जाएगा ना वो definition. बच्चे, by the time you have done 30-40 answers, your topic is covered thoroughly. Just do that sincerely. That's all. Loudly. इतना assumption नहीं करते, शुरू करते हैं काम. ठीक है, आप जब पहुंच रहे हो ना, सर ए नहीं हुआ तो बी होगा, बी नहीं तो सी है. Stop speculating. Start the process. My message to all of you is, अगर technical word है, then open the book, copy and write down. Acha, this is a very important point. No spontaneous writing. Question देखा, बंद किया और लिखना चालू हो गए. Spare yourself the pain and the teacher the turmoil. आप हमसे पढ़ा ना जाएगा, ना आपसे लिखा जाएगा. No spontaneous writing. देख के लिखो किताब. Okay. So I do not know how to frame this. Open the book. I'll suggest let the entire answer be written looking into books, looking into notes. किताब देख के लिखो, all of you. ठीक है, जहां पर टर्म आएगा किताब खोलो. So I do not know how to write a good paragraph on what are monsoons. किताब खोलो. Okay, see what's written in monsoons and copy that down. You copy 30-40 such 4-5 lines, आपका language अपने आप सुधर जाएगा. You learn that ways. I am strictly against at this stage, no writing in your own language. Unless you are very sure that my language has a decent level. आपको पता होता है generally. The problem is, it is the education we have come from. Some of us have come from not the most, not the best institutes. और जो भी अच्छा इंस्टीट्यूट रहा होगा, your graduation has destroyed you. In particular, if you have done engineering. ठीक है? So for most of us, writing skill has not been developed. That's our challenge. For those of you who have a good command, आपको पता है कि sir, my language is, I don't want big Shakespearean, Victorian language नहीं चाहिए. Write neat, straight, clean sentences. That's all. Yes, Pramod. Okay, most of us are victims of engineering. Okay. So that chapter is closed. Life में casualty होता है, that's over. Now we get out of it. The explaining point here. So I said two things. Number one, no forced definition based introductions कि जबरदस्ती डाल रहे हैं, वो ना करो. And second, if definitions, then please see the book. In fact, I'll say even diagrams. आप देख के बनाओ, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. Okay, practice करके. ऐसे तो एक दिन में most of you cannot write more than 1 or 2 answers on the higher side. So be it. पूरे हफ्ते में can you not try 7-8 answers in a week? So I have got 2 content. 1 or 3 content. मैं आपको क्लास से पढ़ा रहा हूं. You're writing your own answers. And third, you have got the memorization work. So ये जो own answers हैं, write 4, 5, 6 per week. और क्लास में तो मैं लिखा ही रहा हूं. 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 I'm writing down. And this is a bank you have. इस ज़्यादा क्या कर सकते हो यार? Come on. That's a dangerous one. If you are English literature student, that's more dangerous. Okay. चलते चलते according to Chaucer और Shakespeare हो जाएगा. Can I move on now, all of you? Okay. So one important learning for all of you. Every answer, yeah, please, all of you. This is a thinking point. In every answer, or if not every, I'll say in most answers. In most answers, there's always an applied dimension, which includes some recent examples. It includes some programs which are already in, okay, say already implemented. Your work is, question कुछ भी पूछेगा, do research on this if required. Read out some questions to all of you. Watch here. I mean, this year's paper. What are geostrophic winds? Explain the relationship between barometric slope and air circulation. What are geostrophic winds? I hope all of us know this, correct? Explain the relationship between barometric slope and air circulation. इसमें बताओ, इसमें applied dimension क्या है? What's an applied dimension? Applied dimension, some current affair based discussion. What is it? Anybody knows? Fine, that's one. Something else? Okay, fine. Geostrophic winds. Okay. There is some change in polar vortex. There is slowing down of upper tropospheric winds. There are disruptions in, yes, western disturbances because of climate change. But in recent days, because of climate change, the barometric slope and the pressure gradient between latitudes are rapidly changing, because of which the upper tropospheric winds have got impacted, in most cases slow down, because of which there is weakening of polar vortex impacting the weather of mid latitudes. Like now you have got bomb cyclones, you have got the heat waves. We'll talk about omega blocking and so on. Every question may you have a scope of doing that. Ek aur question. Ocean drenching question. And how are aqua boys and activities? Ocean drenching, something around ocean resources in terms of life forms. इसका करंट अफेयर्स क्या है? ब्लू इकोनॉमी. ओके, यस, इंडियाज डीप ओशन मिशन, वो डाल देना. दैट्स योर चैलेंज. In fact, for most of you, the challenge is not, sir, current affairs दिख रहा है, geography कैसे बनाना है. Your bigger challenge is, geography है, इसको current affairs डालेंगे कैसे. That's a bigger challenge. So when you're thinking, think on those lines. You have to be very good in current affairs. Current affairs, environment. Okay. एक और question देखो. What is deep ecology and different from shallow ecology? तो direct है ना? Deep ecology, shallow ecology, life program, sustainable development, sacred groups सुना है आप लोगों ने, right? Joint forest management, tribal participation. Yes, you're on. Okay. What are the environmental implications of economic geology? 100% current affairs है ना? Mining, okay, explorations, okay, plantation agriculture, infrastructure in the hills. Yes. So all of these are economic activities which can impact our environment quality. Evidence of paleomagnetism and sea floor spreading have validated continents, ocean basins have never been stationary. Give me a current application of this one. Yeah. Earthquakes, perfect. The crustal stability, the study of crustal movements, the consequence of which are earthquakes. 2 lines on Turkey earthquakes, or 2 lines on Afghanistan earthquakes. That's about it. Tsunamis लिख सकते हैं आप लोग. Ocean floor dynamism. Okay. Explain the characteristics of weather conditions associated with anticyclones with examples. Anticyclone का मतलब क्या है? Calm conditions, winds. So where we have anticyclones, generally that area will have a kind of inversion problem. We'll have smogs, we'll have fogs, and strong anticyclones, the heat gets trapped. We can have heat waves. We can have forest fires. If you read a bit of Quebec and Ontario regions, okay, parts of Alberta regions of Canada, we have got forest fires because of the anticyclones there. Here, Rossby waves and impact. I'm just showing you. So, आपको करना क्या है? What is your work along with me? Is this? Yes, Californian fires, absolutely correct. So, your work will be, okay. So, I said one is revise the notes. It will not take more than 2-3 hours, 4 hours. Finish that off. Your work is memorize answers. Your work is मैंने content पढ़ा दिया. Now think on the structure I'll help you with, plus whatever current affairs you can add. That's your work. I'll help you with some facts, okay, but you try doing a bit of work on those lines. And of course, okay, you also try to practice, I said 6, 7, 5 answers a week. Because the memorization है, ये अपने आप में बहुत, ये अपने आप करते, this would be a work of 2-3 months, which I'm giving a condensed form. All good here? Okay, yes.
How much is the role of supplementary exercise?
ये करो. एक्स्ट्रा पढ़ना है ना, यही पढ़ेंगे आप. Okay. So no extra reading for geography until I tell you. Okay. Whatever you had to read, I'm giving you this one. बाकी आपको जो करना है GS में आप करें. I won't stop you. The question asked is, what about reading current affairs, magazine, booklets? You will not do it for geography. You do it for GS, whatever has been taught, you can go on there. Okay, so take one more question, all of you. Okay. While climate, all of you, write down the question. While climate may be directly related to atmospheric elements and factors. While climate may be directly related to atmospheric elements and factors, The primary influences on climate, the primary influences in climate are not always atmospheric. The primary influence on climate are not always atmospheric. Elaborate with examples. Elaborate with examples. Got the question, all of you? क्या बोलेंगे? L1 question, L2 question, L3, what is it? L1 is a straight question. L3 is a higher level thinking, interrelationships. Okay. While I'm repeating the question, while climate may be directly related to atmospheric elements. When I say atmospheric elements, what are they? What are the atmospheric elements? Clouds, atmospheric elements, winds, atmospheric elements, temperature, pressure, humidity, precipitation. Okay, atmospheric elements, air temperature, yes. Those are, okay, wait, Rahul, आगे बढ़ गए आप. While climate may be directly related to atmospheric elements and factors, give me an example of atmospheric factor in a climate. Give me an example of atmospheric factor. Or give me 4 or 5 examples. Is insolation atmospheric factor? देखो, see. Let's, altitude is atmospheric factor. Something जो atmosphere का part है और वही factor है, वो क्या है? Yes, atmospheric composition is one of the atmospheric factors. See how you get trapped. इसको बोलोगे सर मुझे नहीं पता है, then तो you are, yes, correct, Rahul. You say greenhouse gas, it's part of atmospheric composition as a factor. और क्या बताओ? Example of atmospheric factors. Okay, winds, yes. Okay, offshore winds, onshore winds. I hope you remember these points. Easterly winds, westerly winds. Humidity, water vapor, all a part of composition. Clouds, yes. Clouds can block sunlight. Clouds can trap outgoing radiations, correct? Give me something more. Yeah. Pressure belts. कौन से वाले? कौन से वाले pressure belts? Dynamic or the static ones, which are more atmospheric? The dynamic ones. If we're getting upper tropospheric conditions as atmospheric, Rossby waves as atmospheric. Yeah. The lapse rates are atmospheric. Jet streams are atmospheric, correct? Geostrophic winds. And now you have got a sense. Okay? I'm only triggering you on. Good, nice. So I'm saying, are atmospheric factors responsible for climate? Yes, they are. Okay. Air mass क्या बोलोगे आप? Air mass atmospheric है कि नहीं है? Atmospheric है. Fronts क्या हैं? Atmospheric है. ठीक है? So you make a list of. See, I'm just helping you how to decode a question. So atmospheric elements क्या हैं? Temperature, pressure, okay, precipitation, clouds, ठीक है, winds, humidity, water vapor are atmospheric elements. Atmospheric factors a bit more. Let's say we'll talk about dynamic pressure patterns, Rossby waves, upper tropospheric westerlies, jet streams, air masses. ठीक है? Fronts also are atmospheric factors. All done here? More or less this one. The question says, the primary influences on climate are not always atmospheric. Elaborate with examples. Now give me a list of non-atmospheric impact causing climates. Listing karo. Himalayas, the mountain ranges, the mountain barriers, land water differential. Coriolis force, yes, absolutely. Not atmospheric. Ocean circulations, yes. Okay. Volcanism. Don't say plate movement, it's a volcanism. Yes. Coastline nahi, land water difference. Yes, Earth's sphericity. The distance from the equator. Yes. Earthquakes mat bolo, say volcanism. Absolutely. The tilt of the earth. All the elements of Earth-Sun geometry. Tilt hai, rotation hai, revolution hai. Yes. What else? But do you also realize that air masses bhi because of land hai ya water hai? The source regions are not atmospheric, correct? Those regions are because of surface properties. Yes. Anthropogenic, absolutely. Climatic controls are also anthropogenic. Now see how the points are now flowing out. Shuru karoge, you have a problem, sir, main kya likhu? By the time the thinking is done, sir, batao kya nahi likhu? Hataun kaun sa abhi? Have you got the point? Okay. Now, my question to you is, you can go on this. Can you add some interesting dimensions that looks like a geography wala atmospheric factor and a geography wala non-atmospheric factor? 2-3 points. Okay, Milankovitch. Okay, curve. Okay, fine, taken. That looks like, okay, you have done something. Magnetism and climate. Or maybe you're talking about ionosphere ka role, maybe. Absolutely. The role of ionosphere in climatic or upper atmospheric inversion, okay, like the role of ozone in stratosphere. Yes, absolutely. Dekho, in an answer, you cannot write more than 7-8 points. Now the challenge is what to pick up and what to ignore. Okay? When you say oceans, can you give me an example of oceans which is non-atmospheric, impacting atmosphere? Example do mujhe. Yeah? El Nino and so, absolutely. So there is an atmospheric factor called as Walker cell. Some of you have not done it, we'll do it in 1 or 2 days. But there is a non-atmospheric aspect of oceans called as the ocean currents. Yes. Coriolis force and Ekman transport. Yes, that's an example of, yes, in recent times, the melting of Arctic, Antarctic, that's not atmospheric. Yes. So now your challenge is to make a note of ye 5 factor atmospheric ke hain, good ones, and these 5 good ones are not atmospheric. Non-atmospheric, vegetation, deforestation, and human activities ko ek saath dalo. Non-atmospheric, how can you forget something called as urban heat island? Yeah, pollution, emissions. See, that's the challenge. I said, no, bring in the applied, bring in the current affairs part in your answers. See, your answer should not be, sir, page bharna hai, bhar diya. Give me good points. Good points that look like you have done geography. Urban heat island, absolutely. Yes. So under a category called as the human aspects. Yes. Floods is not a cause for a climate, it's a reverse thing. The reverse thing. Okay, what else? Let's see. Yes. Yes. So that's a part of ocean currents. I can link that with ocean currents, Arctic amplification, link that with AMOC. Yes, agreed. Tsunami and climate. Sarthak, kahan ja rahe ho yaar? How does tsunami impact climate? Sarthak, zyada soch liya. Overgrazing. Again, zyada soch liya. Control. Okay. So it's like, what are the atmospheric elements? What are the atmospheric factors? What are the non-atmospheric factors? don't have more than 4 or 5 broad heads. Like one broad head is Earth, Sun geometry. इसी में ऐड करो मिलानकोविच कर्व. Okay, इसी में ऐड करो eccentricity, obliquity. ज्यादा नहीं, one word में खत्म करो इसको. That's one. Second is okay, ocean, okay, currents and ocean circulations. इसमें ENSO डाल दो. Okay. The third is non-atmospheric land water differential. And recent examples may you can talk about what's called as Arctic amplification, where the Arctic is melting, Antarctic is melting. You can add this. Okay. There's a human-induced deforestation, a human-induced urban heat island. Yes, you can put factors like altitude. So you pick up now. Isme, I gave a list here. So from here, pick up 3-4 points and question ispe pucha nahi, isme pucha hai. Isko you can put as a diagram. So yes, I know there are atmospheric factors. What stops you from writing that the interactions of all of this is part of the Earth's atmosphere heat budget? Right? There's a surface element, atmospheric element, there's a solar element. So I'm just writing it. So ऐसे में क्या है ना? You are scanning the syllabus. You're mentally scanning the entire syllabus of your climatology. अब पूछो क्या क्या लिख सकते हो आप लोग? Insolation is part of okay, Earth-Sun geometry. Think of heat budget. Your answers will be more obvious. Do you all get the points here, all of you? Okay. Now, what is a storyline? You generate the points. कि इसमें लिखेंगे, इसमें नहीं लिखेंगे. You make the points first. Then you make a storyline to it. How you'll go about, okay, organizing the answer. Okay. So Kumari, first look at this. Storyline में क्या है? I said, don't have more than 5 or 6 boxes. Now, one rule that you have in answer writing is, whenever a question has 2 parts as in there is a statement part and there is a demand part. Statement part is, India is a very diverse country with much diverse history. Discuss how in recent times, okay, cultural differences have become more sharpened, because of which we have conflicts. Okay. A question like, innovation technologies are the hallmark of civilization. In recent times, discuss how okay, AI or advanced computing can change the face of okay, a human lives in the future. So a question has, one is a stated statement और एक है the demand. मैं पूछना क्या चाह रहा हूं? इस क्वेश्चन में है कि नहीं है? There is a stated statement है, which is atmosphere is the climate is the consequence of atmospheric elements and factors. And then asking you, tell us how the non-atmosphere is more important. ये पूछा आपका? ऐसे questions में, okay, don't ignore this one. The question is here, but ये भी important part है. Okay, if you ignore this, the flow is missing. So how to develop a storyline in this one is, the first box is what has been stated. Yes, climate is a consequence of a variety of atmospheric elements and factors which together create the weather conditions of a place. There's a diversity of factors like precipitation, clouds, temperature, pressure, okay, atmospheric, upper tropospheric conditions. Likho sab sara point. Okay, you can you can write 2 lines and move on towards a diagram, maybe, if you want to write down. I hope you got the point here. Okay, so this itself becomes an introduction. इसमें define मत करना what is weather, what's atmosphere. Okay, so define the term only when it's really a critical term. It's a conceptual term. Define करने से आपके आंसर को weight मिल रहा है. Otherwise, it's a waste of time. No, कोई पढ़ेगा भी नहीं आपका. So yes, atmosphere has these elements. We put a diagram. This box is, but okay, the fundamental to atmosphere, okay, say processes are non-atmospheric elements. Fundamental are non-atmospheric elements. Quickly shift. ज़्यादा घुमाना नहीं है. And I would write down all the properties of the atmosphere are fundamentally the properties sourced from the surface. The atmosphere is heated from below. Water vapor is from the surface. Aerosol is from the surface. Isn't it, right? Okay. So gravity that holds the atmosphere, wo bhi non-atmospheric hai na? There's a very important insight here. That while atmosphere controls, there are non-atmospheric elements. Okay, because atmosphere acquires its property from the surface on which it develops. Okay, the lapse rate is atmospheric, but lapse rate control karta hai surface temperatures. Okay, atmosphere is present because of gravity. वो भी not atmospheric hai. This is my interesting beginning to the entire conversation. I hope you got the point here. Okay, insolation. All atmospheric processes are fundamentally about balance of heat. Okay, say maldistribution, correct? And heat ka source is insolation and Earth-Sun geometry. So, beginning of the stated fact, interesting insight here. ये कहने के बाद में the following are the non-atmospheric factors. आप करो listing. Okay, one word. Okay, a second word, a paragraph. A third word, a paragraph. So there are non-atmospheric factors. So there are atmospheric factors. Some interesting insights about non-atmospheric factors. What are they? 3-4 point लिखो आप. Then move on towards what does this mean in terms of current affairs. In recent times, all the atmospheric changes, climate change, are a consequence of, अब applied ले आओ, are a consequence of non-atmospheric factors like human interventions. तो इस list में human वाला मत लिखो. I'll preserve it for current affairs वाला. ये आपका list बना हुआ है ना आपका? I gave a list of. So this human aspect. Did I mention it here? Yes, here. The human aspect wala. I'll preserve it for the applied part. Okay? Conclude what steps can we take to control this so that atmosphere does not get impacted beyond control. Couple of programs. Okay. Bring in 30-30 by 2030, life initiative, control of air pollution, okay, GRAP and whatever. ये 4-5 terms याद हैं तो you are on. 3 answers of climatology. You have to know some programs of atmospheric pollution, India's initiatives, global initiatives, and you are done. Is it okay? So one of the very key important parts of non-atmosphere are the forests. Why? Because forests are carbon sinks, carbon sequestration systems. Okay, we have the concept of oceans as carbon sink. Have you heard about blue carbon? Okay, oceans में आप absorb करोगे, yes? Add that. That's your current affairs based. Yes, the forest लिखा, फिर mangroves क्या? आप जो लिखना लिखो. घर के बाद में टमाटर उगाया, वो भी आपका green sink है, heat sink है, whatever. You got the sense of the organization now? So you will quickly see a question, okay, and you will divide into 4, 5, 6 boxes and ensure that this logically becomes this logically becomes this logically becomes this. The last 1.5 section hai, it should be current affairs and applied based. Give examples, give names of programs, apply it. Okay, you'll realize by the time you finish this, your environment topic of climate is also done. All of you, I'm assuming you have done your environment or you ultimately will do it. Keep it handy. हम क्या कर रहे हैं ना, हम पूरा अलग अलग कर दे रहे हैं. Environment पढ़ रहे हैं तो पूरा भूल गए, geography भी है, economy भी है. When I'm doing agriculture, I've left economy अलग से. Yeah, way forward, current affairs applied. Her answer, there is scope for this. Marks, Vartika, this is okay. Keep all of these as marks, could be your 10, 15 marks. I don't want the answer to cross 2 pages on the higher side. All good? Okay, let me, I know we have extended the class a bit, but I was setting up the tone for what we are doing. So here is our conclusion here. Here is our summarization. Number 1, you have to spend time to understand the question. Question के keywords होते हैं. And my suggestion to all of you is, okay, do this work very diligently. You spending time with questions, thinking about it, it itself a learning. Okay. Don't search. See what happens is, देखो, see this question of urban heat island and whatever I asked you. आप क्या करते हो ना? Urban heat island देखा and you start Google searching. I want good content. None of those discussions will tell you the other side. Okay. So search is good, but you should know what are you searching. So rather than searching what is urban heat island, your searching should have been, how does urban heat island cause pollution? Aap wo dhondo, if you must search for something. So the first is understand the question, the keywords very well. Second is identify जो question का statement क्या है, question का demand क्या है. Invariably, most questions में 2 part हैं. There is a demand part and there is a statement part. Don't ignore the statement part at all. Third, okay, you quickly do some jottings. Okay, कि क्या पूछ रहा है, like what I have done as jotting right now. Okay, do a jotting, make a list of points and be aware of identifying the most important points कौन से. And for this, a good method is scan the syllabus. इसीलिए हम चाहते थे your synopsis has to be memorized. Then you can quickly scan very fast. Okay, you have done this. The fourth is you make a storyline. First this, second this, third this, and so on. Make a storyline. The fifth is think on the current affairs and the applications and the examples. आपको answer नहीं पता, doesn't matter. Okay, open the book, open the notes, and do this work. Nihar, very important, but that's not my critical first point. Yes, Afridi, solar radiation is, oh, okay. Solar radiation is, okay, non-atmospheric, correct. Yes, Abhishek. In MSP program, I do this very rapidly within 1.5 months. I don't have so much time to teach all of this to you. I'm pumping content before the mains. Right now, I have some breathing time, so I'll develop that a bit more consciously. Yes, whatever learnings you have done today, make synopsis, और वो दो questions पे अपने आप लिखो answers. I almost gave the answer to you. Formalize it, वो आपके file में डाल दो. Okay. Yes, Rahul, you may go. Sir, may I go to washroom now? We will upload the model answers today or tomorrow. I'll upload it on the portal. Check from the portal. Bye all of you. Bye-bye. Batao. Oh, for oh, this process. Oh, good. I'm more than happy to have you alongside. Yes.
How better time modern of either sorting not making or like just read.
Model answer. Rata maro. Modify, memorize. I know it looks.
Make it short note is better idea or just reading.
Making short note is creating one more answer, correct? उसके पहले पहले देख तो लो कि आंसर दिखने में कैसा होना चाहिए. Okay, before you actually stitch a cloth of your own, first see how the clothes are stitched. Before you make your own dish, first try tasting a good dish first. ठीक है? तो अभी चुपचाप 15-20 answer is a hell lot of work to memorize. Okay, और उसको modify कर दो. Huh? No own words, good words. So own words are good, do it. If not good, then copy paste. ठीक है? Yeah. Okay, for that I don't have it right now. Maybe next class I'll get some of those. I'll do that. Yes, come. अच्छा, फाउंडेशन. नहीं नहीं, एक साल में ज्यादा फर्क नहीं. The same notes will do. Revise that well. Okay, this content will change. बताइए.
मैंने आपसे पूछा था
क्या?
जो वर्क बुक में उसमें एक क्वेश्चन आया था डिफरेंशिएट बिटवीन एनएलआर ईएलआर एंड एएलआर. माय डाउट इज द स्टेडीनेस ऑफ अर्थ in case of
Steadiness of earth.
Steadiness, balance of earth in case of
It is steady state earth.
yes, steady state.
There's an LR.
That steady state is in what context?
In energy loss and gain.
Energy loss.
Yeah.
It's not in case, it's not in terms of this rotation of.
No.
So then what is the difference between NLR and ALR? That
ALR.
is
ALR is adiabatic. Air rising, air sinking.
so ALR in that case.
एक static atmosphere है. वो static atmosphere cools with height. Okay. That cooling off with height, अगर वो होता है for steady state condition, उसको बोलते हैं NLR.
So दोनों केसेस में adiabatic process है ना?
किसमें?
NLR और ALR.
No, NLR is not adiabatic. NLR is distance from the surface of the earth.
In this case, we consider atmosphere as whole, right? In case of ALR, we consider.
क्या कंफ्यूज कर रहे हो? कहाँ से क्या मिला रहे हो?
मुझे मिला नहीं, डिफरेंशिएट कर रहा था वहां से. सर ये